I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of fully fed, fully committed sports bikes. But it's funny how some automobiles can make you see things from a whole different perspective. And this heavily updated Yamaha R15 V4 is just such an example. Now, as you can see, it has quite a few updates in comparison to the Yamaha R15 V3. So, to keep things simple and straightforward, I've divided this review into 4 easy parts. As usual, let's begin with the changes on the design front. If you're a fan of the Yamaha two-wheeler stable, you'll recognize instantly that the front-end design language borrows heavily from the R7, while the rear looks more like the R15 V3. Then there's the redesigned fairing, headlamp and windscreen, which looks quite sleek and has improved the aerodynamics of the little Super Sport. Overall, it has to be said that the changes have made the R15 V4 slightly more handsome than before. It looks slightly bigger too, and that menacing front end works very well with the paint job and sporty looking side profile. Overall, quite an excellent job done by Yamaha to keep their boy racer still looking as fresh as can be. That's not all though. The R15 V4 also comes with a number of mechanical updates. For the first time, it gets upside down fork and switchable traction control. Yamaha has also updated the upper triple clamp to make way for this new fork. Moreover, the R15 now comes with a reinforced subframe along with a revised instrument cluster with Bluetooth connectivity. The R15 V4 also comes with traction control and a quick shifter on select variants like the one we have with us. But most crucially, has any of this changed the unfiltered riding experience of the R15? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. First, let me walk you through the riding posture on the R15. Now, given the sporty credentials of this motorcycle, the foot pegs and the handlebar are quite committed, which means long touring trips out on the open highway can be a little difficult. Another thing you must know is that lively 155cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine is ever so slightly down on power. So I guess the only thing left to do is answer that earlier question. Right from the get-go, it's clear that this energetic engine absolutely loves to be revved hard. There's a smooth surge of power right up to the red line, and since the bike weighs the same as before, fuel efficiency is pretty good too. The traction control system and quick shifter, which only work in track mode, make shifting up and down on the 6-speed transmission a true pleasure. Best of all, none of this comes at the cost of ride comfort. The R15 V4 does a pretty good job at soaking up bumps and undulations on a bad bit of road. But the feather in this bike's hat has to be the way it handles. The latest R15 is extremely chuckable and feels poised and planted even in the sharpest of corners. There's also a great sense of accessible power, meaning the R15 gives you all that it has to give and feels on the edge when you're going at a fairly decent speed. And that in turn helps you hone your skill at the limit, which is essential if you want to be a better rider out on the track. Overall, this is an extremely fun motorcycle to ride and there are no surprises there. Now on to the second most important thing, how much more does it cost? Right, so the R15 V4 costs nearly Rs 15,000 more than the V3 model. Now that's quite a significant amount given that the V4's pricing starts at Rs 1.73 lakh ex-showroom. And thanks to that, it goes up against the RC125, which quite frankly is down on power and displacement, but is quite an able handler like the R15 here. However, the most important question is it more desirable than the previous generation V3? Well, I certainly seem to think so. It feels up to date, it's pretty quick, fairly frugal to run, and most importantly, is damn good fun to ride.